All right, all right, all right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. But I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong and do my best to represent Harlem.
We've got a capacity crowd here at the United Center. This is it, opening day. The regular season is set to begin, and we're thrilled to bring you all the live action right here on 2K Sports. Taking to the hardwood as we'll get to watch the first official NBA appearance from Keith.
Yeah, and whether he has friends and family in the crowd tonight or watching at home, I know a lot of people are proud of this young man. He's worked so hard to achieve this goal.
Yeah, and the future's bright for him, Greg. Not just tonight and not just this season, but for years to come.
Well, with Freak Clark, there was a question whether he would stay another year in college. Really was a tough decision for him, but he ended up coming out after his freshman year.
And, Kevin, it's really hard to blame a guy like Freak for doing that. I mean, he's clearly NBA ready, and he's putting a lot at risk for every year he stays in school when he could be on the NBA clock.
And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor, and Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school.
No shortage of scoring here at the end of the first quarter. Cavaliers lead by 4, and we'll be back right after this. Well, earlier we said...
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I could be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective for most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production? On the court.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Cavaliers.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Butler team to Dunleavy on the perimeter. Taj Gibson is out there with Mirotic, and it's Brooks in at the point guard position. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter.
You know, one of the more impressive things that we know about LeBron James is that he is one of the great leaders in the NBA. His voice carries a lot of weight, and he hasn't been shy about raising his voice on social issues either. Good to see.
6 to shoot, and Mirotic kicks to Gibson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. He's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great...
1:32 left to play in the first half. Here's Dunleavy. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And the layup's good off the glass.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, had been mostly a 6-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting burned.
Inside, here's Brooks. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and has really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
And he gets it to go. And a momentous occasion, folks, as that basket represents the very first official NBA scoring tabulation from Keith.
You know, and there we have it, the first taste of this young man's scoring prowess, showing he can handle NBA defense.
That's exactly right. I mean, it's the NBA that's going to have to show it can handle him, not the other way around. He's ready.
Mirotic's shot is off.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
The drive by LeBron. Back to Thompson. The 11-footer. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. James has got 6 assists in the game.
Love the work there. They got the most out of that possession. And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark, maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been... Cleveland's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. So on the floor for Cleveland. Keith, he's in at the point. He's out there with Matthew Dellavedova. Smith is out there with Anderson Varejao. And it's Cowan in at the 4.
Almost no chance of that shot going in.
Yeah, there were a lot of other places he could have gone with the basketball instead of forcing that shot up.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Freak kicks to Varejao. The feed now to Freak. Cowan passes to Dellavedova. Clock at 4. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. 3-pointer. Keith missing.
Even against solid defense, he's still going to try to continue to make that shot.
And I wouldn't bet against him in that situation the next time out.
You've got to give them a lot of credit for the job they've done on the backboards.
They've done a lot of things well today, but really it's about what they've done on the backboard that's at the top of that list. Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Cavaliers.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Especially because they're going to get together 3 more times this season, Greg. You love to get an opponent figured out early when you're going to be seeing them that often.
And what a huge standout performance it was for James. He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them time and time again.
And here's Freak. That's good.
This is a serious game-clinching run they're on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just not backing off here. I mean, they're looking to close this one out in style. What a time to have this kind of surge.
And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this one. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our entire 2K Sports crew. Thanking you for tuning in. And standing by for the post-game show, let's head over.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game, LeBron James. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team. And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA.